me 6 years to write this book. 6 years of writing plus 30 years of writing and researching, reading about drugs before I started the book. And I've discovered so many things, and some tragic, and some beautiful, and some miraculous, and some infuriating. But of all the things I've learned, this is probably my favorite. The US territory of Guam was having a problem with snakes. And snake problems are just the kind of problems you just don't want to be having. And these weren't tiny little garter snakes. These were brown tree snakes, which can grow up to be 8 feet long. And it wasn't just, 4 snakes. It was as many as 13,000 8-foot snakes per mile. And the snakes were eating most of Guam's native forest birds, and they'd get tangled in the electric wires and they'd cause power outages all across the whole island. So what do? It's too many snakes to just try and capture them all. Because, hundreds of thousands of 8-foot snakes in the trees. So here's what they did. Now, brown tree snakes are extremely sensitive to acetaminophen, Tylenol. Acetaminophen, what it does is it disrupts the ability of the snake's hemoglobin to carry oxygen to its tissues. And about 80 milligrams, which is just 1/6 of a typical dose of acetaminophen, is lethal to snakes. So in 2013, they loaded up 2,000 dead mice, each one pumped full of acetaminophen, and they attached the dead mice to tiny little parachutes, and they tossed them from helicopters, and as they wafted down, they got stuck in the trees, and then the tree snakes ate the mice that were loaded with acetaminophen, and it killed the snakes. And the snake population slowly decreased in Guam. That's one way to get around this problem. But be careful, because acetaminophen is not only toxic to snakes, but to cats and dogs as well. It's just metabolized differently in humans than it is in other animals. And while we're on the subject, ibuprofen, Advil, can also be toxic to cats and smaller dogs. So please be careful, because other animals don't necessarily metabolize drugs the same way we do.